Conversations with Brooke Allen. Today is our 23rd show. Our live audience, very excited about that. It is also April 15th, which means it is tax day. Cue the scary music. I'm Brooke Allen. Thank you so much for being with us. If you are one of our regulars, thank you for having your Monday morning coffee with us. And if you are just watching for the first time and wondering what we're all about, well, this is a show where we brew up topics from a woman's point of view, whether it's our Halfway to 100 segment, Women in Business, Great Lakes Made, or Healthy, Wealthy, and Wise. So what is coming up on this sunny Monday? It is Distracted Driving Awareness Month, and that means it is heads up and phones down. We'll explain. Also, our Women in Business segment and another woman sharing her story about the help she received from our community partner, the Shades of Pink Foundation. Well, here at Caffeinated Conversations with Brooke Allen, we really are all about community, and that doesn't just mean locally. Last week, we were actually broadcasting live from Marysville, Ohio, to be in the path to totality from the solar eclipse, and wow, it was amazing. After that, we headed to Kalamazoo to cover the Pure Michigan Governors Conference on Tourism, and we were able to speak to so many community leaders throughout Michigan, including Chris Moyer from Visit Detroit about, of course, the upcoming NFL draft in Detroit, and we'll hear from him next week. But first, our giveaway today, I have it down here somewhere. Oh, here it is. Our giveaway today is actually a tasty one. It is a gift certificate to the Hamlin Pub. And all you need to do is like and follow Caffeinated Conversations with Brooke Allen on Facebook and comment with the number 23, of course, all in celebration of our 23rd show. We will be announcing a winner at the end of the show. But remember, I say this every week, if you've already won, you cannot win again. Well, it is time for our Coffee of the Day segment, and Philip Jewell is the co-founder of Blue Hat Coffee Gallery in downtown Farmington, Michigan, and now joins us. And Philip, you didn't want me to suffer with gas station coffee like I did a couple weeks ago, so thank you for saving me. I appreciate that.
It's not a problem.
And I have to say that you were actually our very first location when we kicked off the show back in November.
Right, in downtown Farmington.
Yes.
We weren't open.
You were not open, but I sweet-talked my way in, and I'm so forever grateful to you for that. And so you've been open since, I think, November 27th?
7th, yeah.
Okay, so November 27th is when you actually opened, and that was our last show at Blue Hat.
Right.
And so much has changed. I come in there pretty often, and how's it going?
It's going great. Yeah, we're moving along, and I watch the numbers every day. Right. And numbers are gradually going up.
Awesome.
And of course, summer is coming.
Yeah, and you got that beautiful patio.
Right. We have a deck that seats 24, and it's open today. It was open yesterday, and it's interesting because people discover it from the street. And all of a sudden, people are coming in
saying,
the
hey,
patio
what is that? Well, you've got those beautiful umbrellas.
Yeah, so it's really nice.
Okay, so I guess I should say, Coffee of the Day, you make your own syrups.
We make our own syrups, and I kind of have this attitude that quality is everything. And so we roast our own coffee, we make our own syrups, we make all of our pastries, we make all of our breads, we make all of our meats for our sandwiches. And I get to keep incredibly busy, and we have a full-time baker baking for us. So we have sticky buns that we make from scratch, which are right here.
Which is right here, right?
Right,
and
they're a small piece of it.
So delicious. And then, of course, I am a big biscotti fan.
Right.
And so tell me what's in this.
This is cherry sesame seed biscotti. So we make our own biscotti. We make our own, everything that we have for pastries we make. And the breads, we have several breads, and we make some really awesome croissants and chocolate croissants.
Yes, so I took the kids, I think it was the raspberry chocolate scone,
right,
and then the chocolate croissant, and they were like, can we go there every day, please? So they loved it. So, if they're endorsing you, it's good stuff, right?
That is a good thing, yeah.
So since you opened in November, how has the hiring process been for you?
Well, hiring it was slow at first. We were actually open only 4 days a week, and then we kept adding people. And right now we're open 6:30 in the morning to 8:30 in the evening.
Oh.
And so we have enough staff for that. We're hiring probably this week 2 to 3 more people because the summer is going to be crazy.
Are you changing your hours in the summer at all, or?
No, it's going to be the same hours. We're just going to need more people because there's going to be more people coming in from the farmers market and Farmington is a walkable community, so there's a lot of people that in the winter, of course, are not out walking, but, but they are now.
Right.
Yeah, so we see an increased business from that.
What is one thing you're looking forward to for this summer, besides the heat, of course?
Well, I'm going to look forward to basically having the deck open and having the ability to see what the city's doing. The city is actually making a major renovation right outside of our door on the corner, so they're going to start that this summer, and it's going to be it's going to completely renovate the corner. It's going to be gorgeous.
Oh yeah, it's already pretty right now,
Yeah.
but it's going to be even better. And so I have to ask you, what is the one thing people request the most when they come in? I know what I request when I come in, but what do other people?
Well, I mean, the biggest selling items are the scones. So if we don't have scones, they go crazy. And then I'm baking pies. So we have cherry pie, we have peach rhubarb, we have apple, and if we don't have pies on stock, that's another thing. What do you mean you don't have any pies? Well, we had 2 this morning, and they're gone.
And they're gone, right?
Yeah.
Well, see, I would revolt if there was no coffee. So I understand.
Yeah, we always have.
You
coffee.
always have coffee, right?
Yeah. So
Okay,
I'm
perfect.
in fact, I'm roasting. I roast about every 2 weeks, 200 to 300 pounds of coffee.
Really?
And
Just give me a spoon, baby.
yeah.
Okay, so you are open pretty late, and you have game nights there. I mean, you do a lot.
Yeah, we have quite a few events. We now have euchre night first and third Tuesday of every week is euchre night.
Okay.
And now we have second and fourth Wednesday is game night, and we have a ton of book clubs that come in, and we have a conference room table, and we don't play music that's extremely loud.
Right.
And so people can actually sit at a conference room table and talk to one another across the conference room table, which they appreciate.
And I know last time I was in there were a few people on Zoom meetings, right?
Yeah, we have really fast, high-speed internet, so a lot of people are working on their laptops, doing business meetings, doing Zoom meetings, and of course I'm doing that myself.
Of course you are, because every time I come in, I'm like, where's Philip?
He's in his
office on a meeting.
Yeah, doing a meeting. Yeah.
Well, listen, thank you so much. You are our Coffee of the Day sponsor, and I appreciate that. And I, of course, appreciate you bringing the coffee and all the tasty goodies. Your biscotti is one of my favorites, so I appreciate it so much.
Oh, you're
and you
welcome.
are open again till 8:30 every day?
8:30 in the evening, and surprisingly, we are busy in the evening because there's not a whole lot of coffee houses open that late.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And trust me, I know this. I'm the one who's at 8 o'clock going, I think I need a coffee. Let's go.
Yeah.
And you're the place to do it.
And let's have a meeting.
And let's have a meeting. Let's have a coffee and a meeting. We got it all covered. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Philip. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Cheers to you, sir. And
Cheers.
it's, I have to say thank you again for, we kicked off our show with you, and it's just a pleasure to see you and to have you be our Coffee of the Day sponsor. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yes, thank you so much. And again, that is Philip Jewell. He is the co-founder of Blue Hat Coffee Gallery. Go check him out. Great coffee, great scones, and of course, great croissants, according to my children. Well, we would be remiss if we did not thank our amazing streaming partners. You can see all of them on that graphic on your screen, all of our sponsors and our community partner on that list, but also Skinny Teas, Artisan, Bath and Skincare, Frameable Faces, along with Catalyst Media, Design Team Plus, Cerium Chickarro PR, and LA Mental Health West Bloomfield, and LA Mental Health Novi. Well, you are watching Caffeinated Conversations with Brooke Allen. This is a show where we brew up topics from a woman's point of view, and we are live from the My Michigan TV studios in Troy. Our show everywhere, and don't forget, you can also find us streaming live right now on Instagram. You can find that at Brooke Allen Official. Well, I'm not sure if you noticed, but I am wearing pink today, and I will be wearing pink for the next few weeks, all in support of our community partner, Shades of Pink Foundation. But this pink shirt isn't the only thing that I've got in my closet. Let's watch.
This is very exciting for me because we have the Shades of Pink Foundation walk coming up. And of course, Caffeinated Conversations with Brooke Allen. We have our own team. The walk is April 27th, and my new shoes have arrived, and I'm so excited. Let's take a look. Drum roll, please. Ha! They're so awesome. They are perfect for the walk that is happening at the Detroit Zoo, April 27th. Again, you can join our team. Just go to our website, which is caffeinatedconversationswithbrookeallen.com, and join us. We're walking for a great cause, and we'll look good doing it.
And of course, I love those shows, and you can scan the QR code on your screen to join me and the entire Caffeinated Conversations with Brooke Allen team. Of course, that walk is happening April 27th at the Detroit Zoo. If you can't make it in person, you can also donate and be with us in spirit. Of course, we will see you there bright and early on April 27th. Well, this is Caffeinated Conversations with Brooke Allen, where we brew up topics from a woman's point of view. I'm Brooke Allen. We are broadcasting live from the My Michigan TV studios in Troy. Coming up, a remarkable story of survival and the message, heads up, phones down. Well, we are so excited to not only be a live to stream video show, but also an audio podcast. And you can find us on Apple and Spotify by searching Caffeinated Conversations with Brooke Allen. Well, grief and loss can be one of the hardest subjects to talk about, and sometimes people just don't know what to say, so they choose to say nothing at all. Well, a couple of months ago, I sat down with Leah Bengal of Henry Ford Sandcastles. That is a grief support program for kids and teenagers. Let's watch.
I know the typical thing is, I'm sorry, and that's, I just went to a funeral yesterday and I avoided saying that because I'm like, I don't like being told I'm sorry because I'm like, thank you.
Right. I'm sorry. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, well, bye.
Yeah.
Right. But the whole idea that people, don't know what to say, so they stay away.
Yes.
And they need to know that they
Yes.
can talk about it.
Absolutely. I love it when people, say, oh my gosh, I love, when your mom did this, or I just remember this time. And of course it brings a tear to my eye because I love and miss my mom every day. And I'm in this, journey that I am because I want to remember her and make her legacy known. But at the same time, I still love hearing stories about her, learning about when she was younger, stuff like that. So those are really, important to me. Or just saying, I'm here for you if you need anything. Just saying something, like you said. Don't ignore it.
Don't ignore it. And then, the stages of grief, a lot of times people say, oh, well, you're in the angry phase. Now you're in the, and there's 5, I think, right? So 5, and it's like, okay, well, you can always go back to the other one.
Yes.
And people need to understand that too.
I think what people think is like, oh yeah, you have the 5 stages and it's just supposed to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Check
done.
it off.
Well, we know if you are a griever, it is like this roller coaster. It's, you might be, okay one day, really sad the next, accepting whatever it is. It's never going to end. That, roller coaster, it keeps going. And that, we, even as an adult, learning to work with those emotions, but just knowing it's okay to feel those emotions. We tell the kids, you're allowed to have these big feelings, but how are we going to cope with them? Because obviously there's appropriate and not appropriate ways to coping with them. So I'm just thinking of an activity we did the other night where we had the kids write, a big feeling that they've had in their grief journey, put that piece of paper into a punching balloon, and they were punching out those feelings. So there's many different ways to get out that, those big feelings, but, how are we going to cope with them?
And you can find that complete interview with Leah on mymichigantv.com or on their free app, and it is also available on your phone or smart TV. Well, April is Distracted Driving Awareness Month, and according to the CDC, over 3,000 people will die in a distracted driving crash in 2024. Brandon LaForest, you suffered a brain injury due to a distracted driving crash. That happened in 2010, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and you have survived, and you survived in a big way. Can you kind of take me back to what happened that day?
Yes. I personally don't remember the accident because I suffered a TBI, a traumatic brain injury, but I just know from what people have told me and news reports and all that stuff. But October 5th of 2010 was the date of the accident. I was on I-94 in the Lansing area, and I was stopped for an accident that had already taken place. And someone was not paying attention to what they were doing because they were texting while they were driving, and hit me at 80 miles per hour from behind. My car got pushed then into the next lane where someone was going 70 miles per hour, hit me on my passenger side, and I got hit from a third time from behind. I passed away at the scene, and a nurse that was in her car helped to revive me. And then the paramedics got there, and they rushed me to Sparrow Hospital, where they had to revive me 3 more times on the way to the hospital. I underwent emergency brain surgery, and when my parents got there, and they told them that I underwent emergency brain surgery, and I had the worst brain injury that someone could sustain, that they didn't expect me to live through the night, and if I did, it was a 2% chance, and I'd be a complete vegetable if I did. Well, by the grace of God, that's not what happened, and I made it a lot farther than the doctors ever expected, and I made it a lot farther, and I was also battling a lot of other things that had happened when I was there. I had a broken back, broken neck, a damaged spleen, which was removed, collapsed lung. I had a stroke. I was having seizures, neuropathy, shattered ribs, blood clot in my leg, paralyzed on my left side. I was in a coma. So pretty much anything you can think that can happen to someone, it happened to me. I was in a coma for a month. And as soon as I started coming out of the coma, they rushed me right away to a place called Specialty. It's a neurocare recovery center for people with brain injuries. And I went there for my recovery and spent several months there. I lived there for almost 7 months and relearned the basics of life. I mean, it's basically you go from, I was in my master's class level for education at the time of my accident in my final class. So that was my education level, and you basically get put down. I was equivalent to a second grader when they first evaluated me. And you relearn the basics of life, from eating and drinking to walking and talking. I was wearing a diaper. Right. You know, I was hearing stories of what I did. I don't remember any of this. I mean, my first memory that I have after the brain injury and the car accident was right before Christmas, and waking up in the bed at Specialty and seeing all these tubes coming out of me, the feeding tube and all this stuff, and I couldn't walk. I was paralyzed in the bed, and
could you always talk? Did you lose your speech, or?
Well, this is what happened after the brain injury. I could talk, but a lot of times I couldn't find the word for what I wanted to say, and I still have this issue, and I'll have this issue for the rest of my life, and it's very frustrating. For instance, I remember one of the very first things when I was wanting to eat dinner, and I wanted ketchup for the food I was eating, and I could see it I can see it in my head of what I want to say, but I can't find the word, and I will say the wrong words, and then when I'm trying to explain it, I would mess up the colors, and I would say the wrong color, and it was really frustrating for me. So I say the wrong words, so and I'll have to deal with that for the rest of my life. That's one of the cognitive things I have from my speech issues, is that. So it's I go through speech classes. I'm still in speech therapy. I'm still in therapies, and it's been 14 years after the accident. How long will I be in therapies? I don't know. I still think there'll be certain therapies I'll be in for the rest of my life.
Can you kind of talk about your mother and sister are here?
Yes.
And having family support you through this process, and kind of, I mean, when your life changes, their life changes as well. Yeah. And can you kind of talk about that family support and what that support system has meant to you? Yeah,
I mean, without them, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. I mean, my mom would tell me stories, and the doctors would say, "Oh, he's not going to do this, he's not going to do that," and my mom would say, "You watch him. That's not my son. He's going to do it," and I did it, and after my recovery, it would push me 10 times harder. When someone tell me I wouldn't do something, I said, "You watch, I'm going to do it."
Good for you.
and that's what I tell people after my accident. I do motivational speaking now, and me and my mom and sister, we created our foundation called Heads Up, Phones Down.
Yes.
And when I do my speaking, I do my motivational speaking, I tell people, don't let people tell you can't do something. If you think you can do it, do it. And when I tell people with the brain injury, you can still do the things you used to do. You just have to do it differently, right. And it might take you a lot longer. You can still do it, but you can still do it.
Right. So you mentioned at the very beginning, and I did read this in the articles that I read about you this weekend, that God has been a big part of your recovery and your faith.
And I always believed in God and all that. I went to Catholic school growing up, but after my accident, I felt a lot stronger of a relationship with him. I feel like he kept me here for a reason, and one of those reasons is I feel to get my story out to people and to be that motivation to people. And I go to high schools now and talk to the students about the dangers of texting while driving. If I can prevent one accident from happening to a person or their family, and for going through what I'm going through and my family has gone through, because it's an emotional thing, just like you said, for the family members as well, not just for me. you know, it's then my accident had more goods come out of my accident than bad then.
So your foundation is called
Heads Up,
Phones Down, right? Yeah. And so tell me what this is.
When I go to the high schools and colleges and do my motivational speaking, I sell these T-shirts and wristbands, and they say "Heads Up, Phones Down" on them. And when they buy these, I tell the students they have to sign my pledge that they agree to not text and drive. And you know, when it puts it more through their head, like that they're agreeing to not do something.
Right.
And the funds that I get from these, it's not for me to make money. It's on my website. I have a section of the Who We Help, and so many people help me in my recovery. I want to keep paying it forward, and people can apply for assistance. And I want to continue to pay it forward to other people, and you know, I use the money to help people, you know, out in the community.
So when you're in the car, and I know I see it all the time, and I'm really trying to teach my twins, they're 12.
So frustrating.
Yes, and I'm trying to teach them to pay attention already, right, to driving, and if I do something, or if they're talking or yelling at each other, I'm like, please, you know, mom needs a minute, let me drive. But when you're in the car and you see somebody driving and on their phone, what do you think? What goes through your mind?
You know, it infuriates me. You know, number one, it's become more deadly and dangerous than drinking and driving now. And you see these cars, they're swerving in and out of the lanes, you know, and then you start to pass them, you see them on their phone, and it's just like, in 1 second on the expressway when you're going 70 miles an hour and you're looking at your phone, you travel the length of a football field. What can happen in 1 second when you're traveling the length of the football field? Anything. Anything. You know, someone can do something, you cannot react fast enough. You can put the life of yourself, others in the car, others in front of you, behind you, on the side of you at risk. I mean, look at what happened to me. I mean, my life has changed for the rest of my life. I mean, it could have been way worse. There could have been way more people involved in my car accident. You know, it was ended up being 4 cars involved in my accident. There could have been a lot more, and luckily I was the only one that was majorly injured in my accident, but who knows what could have happened. It's just so frustrating. I get, you know, I'll have my mom beep the horn at the people, you know, it's like, put the phone down. Like, it just, I really wish that they would come out with something in a car, and they have a lot of cars where your phone's connected to your car, where it'll read you your cell phone text.
Right, so it's hands-free, right?
Exactly,
yeah.
Because
and that's actually the law in Michigan, right?
Yes, and it's so dangerous. You know, you're just, and until something happens to themselves or their family member, they don't really realize.
Well, because people always say, oh, it's never going to happen to me.
Right, exactly.
Until it does.
It's only for a second. A second is all it takes.
Right, and a second can change your life.
Right, exactly.
So you mentioned what you think when you see people texting in cars, but what do you say to somebody who's maybe going through a traumatic brain injury like you have gone through, or how do you the word of encouragement, what do you tell them?
You know, just you got to keep pushing forward and keep the faith. You know, I tell them, you know, even if they don't believe in God or whatever faith they are, keep your faith in whatever your religion are, because it'll help you get you through this hardest days, and it'll get you through. Just try to have faith that you're going to get through it, and days will be hard. I'm not going to say you're not going to have hard days, because you know what, you're going to have hard days, and they're going to be tough. But you got to turn the page, and God's written your whole life story, and you'll get through. And just try to keep pushing forward. I mean, that's all you can do. I mean, if you get stuck at, I used to do this, I used to do that. Well, you know what? Yeah, that you used to do it. But you got to live in today. This is now, and you can still do the things you used to do. You just got to do it differently, and it might take you longer, but you can still do it, and you know, you can still be happy and still live a successful, happy life. It just will be different than the way you used to do it.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
It has been a pleasure to meet you. I don't know if you know, but my life was touched years ago when my previous husband was killed by a drunk driver.
Oh, wow, okay.
So I do know how it is and how your life can change in 1 second.
Right, yes.
So I appreciate you telling your story, and your family, your mother and sister being with you, and you just getting the word out, because, you know, I know it has to feel like nobody's listening sometimes when you see these people texting and driving. But know that your message is getting out there.
Yeah, thank you.
And we're going to keep helping you get it out there, okay?
Thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you. And thank you. And again, that is Brandon LaForest. Thank you so much, Brandon, for joining us. I appreciate it. This is Caffeinated Conversations with Brooke Allen, and this is our 23rd episode. I'm so proud to say that, of course, we are broadcasting live from the My Michigan TV studios. Thank you so much for being with us on this April 15th. It is tax day, and I'm going to admit something. My teleprompter is actually upside down right now. so I'm trying to read it as it is going. But we are going to take a quick break and be right back after this. And again, Brandon, thank you so much. Can I keep these?
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you.
In 2019, I was diagnosed with congestive heart failure. And it was out of nowhere, completely unexpected. You know, most people, they look for the markers or think of the markers of obesity or high blood pressure when it comes to heart issues or anything like that. And that was not the case at all with myself. It was a simple viral infection. So long story short, it attacked my heart. And come around 2021, I am then hospitalized for 3 months straight. Henry Ford Hospital, Beaumont, which is now Corewell Health, and then U of M as well. And all three gave me the same prognosis that I was going to pass away within 6 months. I would need a heart transplant, but before that, I would need an LVAD, which is literally a machine that pumps your heart for you. Yeah, you have to wear battery packs. There's certain things where you can't shower. You have to constantly clean the wound because it's an open wound, and it's just a lot that came with that I didn't see in my life, you know, as far as the
Plus
quality
you have young
of life.
Kids,
well,
right?
yeah, that was a huge part
Right?
of it. You know, I'm married, I have young kids, you know, and we travel, you know, all of my kids are involved in some form of athletics, you know, dance, football, soccer, cheer. So with that in mind, I decided to leave against medical advice.
And you had the letter. It is framed.
Yes.
It is framed. So when he goes out, the letter is next to him when he's handing out samples to say your story,
Absolutely,
right?
absolutely.
I mean, you left against medical advice, and
yes.
then what happened?
Well, I left against medical advice, so that was May of 2021. And keep in mind, I was hospitalized from February of 2021, end of February 2021. So I left against medical advice, and literally the only two things I, changed up or switched up, so to speak, initially was just walking every day, getting some fresh air and a little bit of cardio, and then taking sea moss. And literally that letter that you referred to, University of Michigan then mailed that to me in October of 2021. So literally 5 months later from leaving this medical advice and them telling me I'm crazy, they sent me a letter saying that I'm too healthy to pursue a heart transplant at this time. And they deemed that from a long, stringent series of tests. They have these VO2 stress tests and various other ones. So yeah, they had me hooked up the machines looking like, the Bionic Man or something. Yeah, exactly. And so they sent me that letter, and once they sent me that letter, I knew, like, okay, I'm on the right path of just, taking care of your body, of your
wellness,
health. Your
right?
wellness, yeah. I always tell everyone, especially when I have those vendor demos that you referred to at the grocery stores, whatever the case may be, that you have to be your own health advocate.
Yes.
Obviously you listen to the doctors, the physicians, and you just have to take what they say and then incorporate that along with your own learning and studying. And then you have to make whatever choices or decisions you feel is best for you and your family or your loved ones.
And you can watch my full interview with Jonathan on mymichigantv.com or by downloading the free My Michigan TV app on your phone or smart TV. And that CMOS really good. And I have to say that I was actually grocery shopping over the weekend, and it always gives me kind of a thrill. I saw the Flovia package, and to say, hey, I know that guy, so kind of cool. So thank you, Jonathan. Before we move on, a reminder that we are hosting a very cool giveaway today from the Hamilton Pub. It is a $50 gift card. To be entered to win, you have to like and follow Caffeinated Conversations with Brooke Allen on Facebook and comment with the number 23, of course, 23 being in celebration of our 23rd show, which we are doing right this minute. So thank you so much for being with us. It is time for our Women in Business segment. And since 1993, April Wagner has owned Epiphany Studios in Pontiac, which is the largest glassblowing studio in the state. She joins us now. And April, I love that. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for having me, Brooke.
So 1993, glassblowing, how did this start?
I have always loved art, and when I think back that it's been over 30 years, I can't even believe it, because I still love it. Every day I can't wait to go to the studio and make things. When I was young, I was fortunate and was able to go to Interlochen for high school in Northern Michigan.
Yes.
Yep, and then received my Bachelor of Fine Arts from the College for Creative Studies in Detroit, and then built my studio in Pontiac.
Okay, so your studio's been in Pontiac, and I've been watching videos of you creating these beautiful products, and I can tell you love it.
It gets me up out of bed in the morning. I want to see what's the next thing I can create. People always ask me, what's your favorite piece? And that's what I say. It's the next thing. I love doing this.
Okay, so we have a bunch of beautiful items on the table. And okay, so I'm looking through my notes because you have so many different things that you do. Is this the Wanderlust Bowl?
It is.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's gorgeous. So tell me about this.
So we developed this series last year, and all of the different colors represent different cities that we've either been to or want to go to. So this one is called Miami.
Oh.
I'm sure people can figure out why.
Right.
But we have ones like Morocco and Marrakesh, just very exciting, unique places where color and the simple form can really accentuate any space in your house or your office.
Okay, so could I come to you? I mean, I've never been anywhere. No, I'm just kidding. So can people tell you the colors they want or what city that they want the bowl made out of?
So
or
generally we have the series that we make, but we do a lot of corporate awards and gifts where we can customize these colors. Like if you're Ford and you want it in blue and white, we can make those for you.
Oh, that is very cool. Okay, and you also, I thought this was interesting, do memorial pieces.
We do. So it's a very interesting aspect of our glass. We're able to take human cremains or pet cremains and incorporate them into the glass artwork. And that can be a very sensitive process for some people. So we will do that for you in one of our paperweight forms, one of our bird shapes, or we also offer for Memorial Day, you can come into the studio and make the piece yourself. So you'll work with one of our studio artists, you'll pick your own colors, you'll pick the shape you want to make, you'll incorporate the ash. It's a very, very thoughtful, kind of honoring process.
So you do it-yourself workshops.
We do, actually.
And that kind of makes me nervous to think of me going in there and being like, oh, sure, I want to create this beautiful. I don't think it would be that beautiful, honestly.
I think it would be, absolutely. And you mentioned, do you have 12-year-old twins? It would be the perfect experience for them. People never forget the first time they blow a glass. Even I remember the first time.
I know, but I would be a little, what are the logistics involved in this?
There's a little bit of heat, there's a little bit of fire, but we make sure everything is safe. You have glasses on, you're working with the artist. The better you listen, the better you'll do.
Okay, all right, so people can come in. You have a few more workshops left, right?
Yep, we do them a couple times a month, and we're actually going to have our spring open studio, which is the first weekend in May, so that Saturday and Sunday will be open from 10 to 6, and people can come in and actually make either one of these bird sculptures we have or a heart sculpture.
Okay, and you have something going for Earth Day?
We sure do.
Yeah, I'm excited about this.
Glass comes from the earth, and we think it's the most amazing material, so we are also doing, you can come in and make a paperweight with us, an Earth Day paperweight.
This is Saturday?
I think it is Saturday.
Right, okay,
yes,
so that is Saturday because Earth Day is the 22nd.
Right, and it's actually on Earth Day, so yes.
That is awesome. So I just, you've owned this company since 1993. And as a woman in business, how have the struggles been for you?
Well, glassblowing traditionally is a very masculine art form. If I had been born in Italy, I probably wouldn't have the opportunity to do this because it's passed down, from generation to generation in the male side of the family. But in the United States, I was able to get a degree. I'm able to pursue this, and I'm really fortunate in that I have a great team of people. So there's nothing solo about making glass. It's not like painting. I work with this amazing team, and together we pool our resources and we make the best possible pieces. So if we're working on something that's 24 inches by 24 inches, there's no way one person can carry that glass and manipulate it or apply some of these different color techniques to the piece. So I find that social component of glassmaking to be really interesting.
And I was, like I said, watching the videos and seeing the teamwork that goes, because you hand it to somebody else, they help you. It's real. It's really
like a dance.
It is. I was like, wow, that is some choreography, and it is beautiful. beautiful. So what is this piece right here?
So this is a flower sculpture. So we do some fairly elaborate sculptural pieces, and then we do more of the gift line of pieces. So I actually make an entire line of sculptural work that if you're around the city of Detroit, you might see if you're in whatever Cobo is called now.
Is it Huntington Place?
Huntington Place. Yeah, it's St. Joe's Hospital in Pontiac at the Strand Theater. So if you see a large-scale glass sculpture, that's probably something I've done.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, okay, workshops, people can come in, kids can come in. Is there an age minimum?
Over the age of 6.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. I don't know if I would have wanted them creating glass and when they were 6 years old.
I don't know. We've worked with some people that now, after all these years, I see them going to school for this and maybe starting their own studios. So
That's
it's pretty exciting.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so if somebody was interested, so first of all, I do have to ask you because I love those birds. I told you about those with the twins. I buy them birds all the time. Do you sell these pieces?
We do. So you can visit our website.
Okay.
epiphanyglass.com. You can also come to the studio. We're located just west of Telegraph on Orchard Lake. And we're open on Thursdays and Saturdays from 10 to 3, or like I said, for our spring show, the first weekend in May, we'll be open from 10 to 6 on Saturday and Sunday.
Okay, so people can actually stop in.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And pick out the birds?
Yeah,
Paperweight?
absolutely. Yes. I prefer buying my art in person, so absolutely recommend people come to the studio.
So, okay, that just led me to another question. Do you ship?
Absolutely, and we ship all over the world.
You do?
We do. And people think, oh my gosh, glass, so fragile, but we do a really top-notch job because if you're excited about something that's one of a kind that you've ordered and it's coming from overseas, you don't want it to arrive broken.
No, definitely not. Okay, give me the website one more time.
EpiphanyGlass.com.
Okay, and your do-it-yourself DIY workshops, are those few left, or how does that season work for you?
So we end the season in June because no one wants to be in the glass shop in the hot months.
What is the temperature in there? Just curious.
So just to give you an idea, the furnace runs at 2,000 degrees, but that's just one piece of equipment. There's another piece of equipment at 2,400 degrees, another piece of equipment at 900 degrees, and another piece of equipment at 1,000 degrees. So you can imagine in July.
I'm hot thinking about it, man. Okay, so then the workshops will pick up. When does the season start?
It'll start again in September.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. What a pleasure to meet you finally.
You as well.
I know we've been trying to set this up, but I insisted that I would have April in April. That was the whole deal, right?
I
So
love
thank
it.
you. Yes, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And we will be getting those birds.
I love it.
Yes, thank you. Again, that is April Wagner. She is the owner of Epiphany Studios in Pontiac. And thank you so much, April. Well, this is Caffeinated Conversations with Brooke Allen. So glad and thankful you are with us. This is our 23rd show. We are broadcasting live from the My Michigan TV studios in Troy. And we get together every Monday morning and brew up topics from a woman's point of view while also networking and celebrating community. And speaking of, for the past 10 weeks, you have been hearing about our community partnership with the Shades of Pink Foundation. Coming up, we will continue to show you the impact that they have had right here in southeastern Michigan. Their big fundraiser, A Walk at the Zoo, is happening April 27th, right around the corner. And also, did you know that you can check us out on YouTube and subscribe? Just go to YouTube and search Caffeinated Conversations with Brooke Allen. Well, it is April 15th, which means it is tax day. And hopefully you've already turned in everything you need. Otherwise, it is a last-minute scramble. So some fun facts. Are there fun facts about tax day? I guess there are. According to the Library of Congress, tax day dates back to the Civil War when Congress passed the Revenue Act of 1861, including a tax on personal income to help pay for war expenses. That tax was repealed in 1871. Also, April 15th hasn't always been the filing deadline. March 1st was actually the date Congress picked in 1913 after the passage of the 16th Amendment. And finally, during the tax overhaul of 1954, it was moved back to April 15th. And I do think there are some freebies happening today. You can find them at Krispy Kreme. When you purchase an original glaze or an assorted dozen in the shop, you can get a second dozen for just the price of sales tax. Well, that's a bargain. Also, Grubhub, they are offering a $15 tax day discount on delivery orders over $25. Just use the code TAXBREAK. And Potbelly, they are offering a free tax day sandwich. Who doesn't love a free sandwich? Customers can redeem the free sandwich through their website or app using the promo code POGO. Okay, that didn't really fit, but I guess that's what they're doing. We do want to take you on the road to one of our sponsors, Michigan Institute of Neurological Disorders in Farmington. I'm actually a patient. Let's watch.
I'm at one of our sponsors. I am at Mind in Farmington, and I'm with Hannah Shepard. And Hannah, first of all, tell me what Mind stands for.
It stands for Michigan Institute for Neurological Disorders.
Okay, what is your role here?
I'm a nurse practitioner, so I see patients of all general neurologic conditions.
Okay, and you guys deal with a lot of conditions here. Can you kind of run those down for me?
Yeah, so we see seizure, epilepsy, migraine, multiple sclerosis, dementia, Alzheimer's dementia, Parkinson's disease, among others.
And I have disclosed that I am an actual patient here at Mind. We have never met, but you're a nurse practitioner, and sometimes people get offended because they're like, what do you mean I can't see the doctor? I don't want to see the nurse practitioner, but you are highly qualified.
Yes, we all have a bachelor's degree, master's degree, and even some do have a doctorate. So.
And how long have you been here?
I've been here for 1.5 years.
Okay, so 1.5 years, and you're able to see any patient for any condition here, correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay, so for people who may be suffering from one of those ailments you just mentioned, I know I'm a migraine sufferer, so what is their best call to action to actually get seen here?
Yeah, so whenever symptoms present, you sometimes need a referral from your primary care, but we're able to really see, at any stage. The beginning, middle, it's never too early or too late.
So can somebody actually call you? Do they need a referral, or does it just
depending on insurance?
Okay.
Yes.
All right. But if they want more information, they can actually call here or go online at mindonline.com.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
And for any element, and you may even see Hannah. Thanks so much for your time, Hannah.
Of course. Thank you.
And you really do want to check out Mind if you're suffering from migraine headaches or any other type of neurological disorders. Honestly, I am a patient. They have helped me so much. My migraines used to be once a week. Now, maybe once every 4 months, if that. April 27th is the Shades of Pink Foundation Walk at the Zoo, their biggest fundraiser of the season, and we are so proud to be their community partner. Of course, we have our own team. I'm super excited about that. Their main mission is to help women in southeastern Michigan going through breast cancer treatment financially, and with the everyday bills that may be tough to pay as their treatment continues. Ruth Raimer is here, and Ruth, Shades of Pink Foundation has helped you throughout your process, and can you kind of take me back to when you were diagnosed?
Well, most recently, I've had breast cancer twice, so this is my second go-round. I had surgery in November of last year.
Okay.
And then I went through my radiation treatment in January. So right now I'm in follow-up with my doctors.
And you look great. How are you feeling?
Thank you. A little sore here and there. My nerves are coming back together. They had to cut twice in 2 different spots. So I may not have feeling in part of my arm, but other than that, I'm fine.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, can you kind of tell me, we've been talking about Shades of Pink Foundation and everything they do. And, I think people don't realize that when you are going through a major medical journey, right, and a diagnosis such as breast cancer, that even though, you may have to stop working, there's so many things that could impact you, not just emotionally, but financially. And Shades of Pink Foundation, they really step up.
Well, I didn't know about Shades of Pink. I found out through my Henry Ford Health Systems social worker. And she said that there were foundations that are around to help you. To my first surgery, I had no idea, no help whatsoever. So she took my information, sent it over to Shades of Foundation. They contacted me within 2 or 3 weeks, and they were very, very resourceful. I needed home health care, which I was not able to provide for myself. And when I was able to get the assistance on paying some bills, which afforded me the opportunity to have health care. Home care.
Home care. Okay. So, can you kind of talk about how, when financial stuff weighs on you and you're going through such, breast cancer treatment and the diagnosis, all of it comes together, but to be able to take away the financial aspect a little bit, right, to kind of relieve that for you. What has that meant for you?
It has been such an opportunity for me to relax and not stress, which is one of my biggest problems. When you have breast cancer, for me, my stress level was here.
I'm sure.
So not having to worry and have the confidence that my bills were being paid, it was a grateful opportunity for me, and I didn't even know organizations like that existed.
And that's amazing, right? Because, and that's kind of what this show is all about, because there's so many resources that are available to people going through different things. And it's amazing how hard they are to find out about.
Yes.
And so you said it was the social worker
Yes.
in the hospital. And now, as you continue to go through this process, what are your thoughts as far as?
Well, I want other people to know about it. I'm willing to share, my experience, and I'm so thankful because I went through at least 2 or 3 social workers before one of them actually was able to enlighten me about what was out here. So I was excited about that because I didn't know it existed.
See, so you don't always know, and it takes that special person
Yes.
to kind of get the message out there.
Yes.
And so now you are glad and proud to be talking about Shades of Pink Foundation.
I am.
And can you kind of talk about going through this journey and how you're staying strong and who's helping you?
Well, in the beginning, when you hear that C word,
Yep.
you kind of freak out, and it took the support of other breast cancer survivors for me to realize, girl, pick yourself up, it's going to be okay. And then I had a wonderful cancer team, and I just want to say, don't give up. It's always a better day ahead. You cry, you worry, you wonder, what did you do wrong? But at the end of the day, you got to pick yourself up and just keep going.
Might even scream sometimes, right? Do you have kids?
I have 2 grown children.
Okay. And so, and it's kind of a family diagnosis too when this comes down, right? I mean, because everybody has to kind of step up, lives change, and the struggle. And like you said, come on, girl, you got this, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So I have to ask, will you be at the walk on April 27th?
I certainly plan on being there, yes.
Okay, well then I plan on seeing you there, all right? And I
Okay.
expect to get a picture with you. I've got those pink shoes I'm so excited to wear about.
them. I love them.
And can I see your nails?
Yes.
And you have these beautiful pink nails. I don't know if you can see them, but I think they kind of match my shirt.
Yes.
We didn't even plan that.
I had no idea.
Listen, thank you so much. It is a pleasure to speak to you and to meet you. And girl, you got this.
Okay.
All right?
Thank
and
you
I'll
so
see you
much.
April 27th,
Yes,
okay?
ma'am. Okay.
Thank you. And again, that is Ruth Raimer. Just a reminder, we do have our very own Caffeinated Conversations walk team at the Shades of Pink Foundation walk. That is happening at the Detroit Zoo. So you can lace up your shoes and walk with me and my whole team. If you're not available, don't think you're off the hook, because if you're not available April 27th, guess what? You can still donate or register to be a sleepwalker. You can just scan the QR code on your screen to get registered. And again, that walk happening April 27th. Well, whether you have a small business with 1 or 2 employees or a larger business that requires more protection with extra coverage unique to your business needs, Sterla Insurance Agency, one of our sponsors of Michigan Farm Bureau Insurance, can help you find the best fit for your company. And because they want to expand their commercial footprint, Michigan Farm Bureau actually pricing their policies competitively. Sterla Insurance Agency works with a variety of small to medium-sized businesses in a variety of industries, including retail stores and services, also salons and restaurants, auto service and repair, and commercial buildings and property owners and professional offices. So if your business does not fall within those categories, don't worry about it. Lynn Sterling can work with you to create a custom policy that meets your unique needs through one of their partner companies. She's dedicated to helping her clients make the best choices for their businesses. And you can call Lynn Sterling today at Sterling Insurance Agency. 248-880-8782. Again, that is 248-880-8782. Well, this is Caffeinated Conversations with Brooke Allen, our 23rd show. This is a show where we brew up topics from a woman's point of view. We are live every Monday. I'm Brooke Allen. Coming up, we'll announce the winner for our $50 Hamlin Pub giveaway. But first, be sure to give us a follow on Facebook on Caffeinated Conversations with Brooke Allen. Also, you can follow us on Instagram at Brooke Allen Official. Another aspect of our Healthy, Wealthy, and Wise segment is the wealthy part. We talked with certified divorce financial analyst Jackie Rossler about what women should do if they want to stay in their home after the divorce. Let's watch.
This is a unique situation. I've not been in this kind of interest rate environment situation in the past because rates were so low, historically low. So, when I started, I remember when rates were 11, 12% because it was a long time ago. But there are a lot of options that couples have, and maybe it might require them to work together on it to try to.
How do you think that's going to go?
I think if it benefits both people,
right,
then I think it's okay. So if I have a client right now he's the high wage earner. He wants his former spouse to stay in the house with the kids. And so the only way for that to happen is for her to keep that interest rate low. So a couple options nowadays, this has always been around, but it's become more popular that people are looking into assumptions for a loan. So a loan assumption, your lender has to be willing to do it, and not every lender is. But in a loan assumption, you step into the shoes of the original borrower. So you keep the rate the same. So you could do a loan assumption, and you keep that 3% rate or whatever. Some people have 2 3/4%. So that is an option, but the hard part about that,
I thought there was like a but coming.
There's a but, is that the lenders will not officially give you an approval until your divorce decree is done. So if you agree to a settlement that says you're going to take on a loan assumption, you don't know for sure if you're going to qualify. And you have to go through the full underwriting process to get approved. And it's expensive. And a lot of lenders are requiring clients to bring cash to the table. So it might be $7,000, $10,000 that you have to bring with you to get that assumption. And that's kind of an unpleasant surprise for some people.
And again, that is Jackie Rossler. And of course, you can find that complete interview. She is a wealth of knowledge. You can find that on My Michigan TV, the app, or the smartphone, or you can check it out on YouTube as well. Well, it is one of my favorite times in the show. It is time to announce our winner of the $50 Hamlin Pub gift certificate. Congratulations, Danielle Barber. She is our winner. And of course, I will get that to you. I will get this out to you today, Danielle. Thank you so much for watching. Well, I want to give a big caffeinated thank you to all of my Buy Me a Coffee monthly supporters, Jason B., Freddie the Pizza Man, Sherry L., Jen B., Terry G., Judy B., also Gregor. To become one of my supporters, you can actually buy me a coffee by going to buymeacoffee.com/Brooke Allen. And anyone who buys me a coffee is a friend of mine. Trust me on this one. Well, before we say goodbye for the day, you know there are so many people working behind the scenes to bring you Caffeinated Conversations with Brooke Allen each and every week, and I am grateful for every one of them. A big thank you to my executive producer, Christina McDaniel. Also, Dave Scott, who is actually running the teleprompter today. He is the founder of My Michigan TV. To Jason Waldron, who is actually not here today because Steve is having surgery. So Steve, we hope it goes well. We are thinking of you today, and we are thinking about all of you. So let us know how that goes well. And of course, each week to Jared, who is in the control room. And actually, you know, we have been on location so much, we're not often in the same building with Jared, but today we actually are. So thank you, Jared, for being here with us and for all the help you do. And to all of our sponsors and friends who come out to watch and support the show every week, it has been incredible. Thank you so much for joining us. You have been watching Caffeinated Conversations with Brooke Allen. This is a show where we brew up topics from a woman's point of view. Thank you so much for watching, of course. Join us next week, 10 a.m. Keep the coffee hot in the meantime. See you next week.